Yeah, that would be a good place for the New York Times to start. The New York Times came out, the columnist, I don't remember his first name, but his Blow is his last name. And he said this about how conservatives hate the president of the United States. Listen, Mr. Blow.
Sununu is basically just tapping into this otherness idea that persists about Barack Obama. If you look at the people who say that they are for Romney, they're actually not for Romney at all. They're just against Barack Obama. And a large part of those people are, as Joey was saying, just bitter. They hate the idea of this guy.
They're just bitter. The idea that somebody could be against him has got to be about racism. The idea. Really, Mr. Blow? Here's the thing. We've already gone through that the president just doesn't see America as most Americans do. Now, maybe you do. Maybe you see it just like the president does. Because I work for the New York Times, and I don't understand it. All my friends in the newsroom, we all love Barack Obama. Some of us say he's not my man. He's not liberal enough. But I understand that. He doesn't go far enough. We should all be issued like gray, like smocks, and we could all wear that great uniform that they had in the motherland. It was great. I don't think that, but some of my friends do. I don't understand. It's got to be just his skin color. No, it's not. The otherness, as he likes to call it, he doesn't think that America is exceptional. I do. I don't think our president has ever sought out, any other president has ever sought out Marxist professors, radical feminists, anti-colonialists ever before. Maybe you get them in a room and go, okay, why do you guys hate us so much? To try to understand them, but never like hanging out like, there, that's my posse. I'm sorry, that's my choom gang. Never had that. Never had a guy whose parents met in the height of the Cold War in a Russian-speaking language class. Never had a president before whose mentor, you should read the book, The Communist, whose mentor, communists? Why does he hate communists? Is it because of the color red? Never had a mentor try to tell the president of the United States that, yeah, America sucks. Never had that. Now, we've never had a president, except for Woodrow Wilson, that sees the Constitution this way.
That generally the Constitution is a charter of negative liberties, says what the states can't do to you, says what the federal government can't do to you, but it doesn't say what the federal government or the state government must do on your behalf.
Right. Okay, now, except for Wilson and then possibly FDR, nobody else has ever thought of it that way. No other president has thought of it that way. And let me just give Wilson and FDR the credit. They were still living in a time when they thought fascism could be a good thing. This is when the New York Times, Charlie Blow? It's and the New York Times was saying that fascism is neat. That Mussolini's a great cat. I don't know why. Is it because he likes spaghetti and you don't? You don't like him? Most Americans like the way the Constitution was written. So collective salvation, America is not exceptional, grew up with Marxist, anti-colonialist, has serious reservations about the Constitution. That brings us to the president's speech last week about individualism. Collective salvation, there is no individualism. Makes sense, it works. Brings us to last week's speech on individualism and success.
You got a business.
Yeah.
You didn't build that.
I didn't?
Somebody else made that happen.
I know who. Who? Was it 3rd and Elm Street? Who? I know we have got great sewer systems and I know that we have great roads, and somebody else invented the telephone, but I think I built my business. I think along with a lot of people who I employ and pay, I think I built my business. That is a big deal. That is unlike the beliefs of the vast majority of Americans, all skin colors, all creeds. The vast majority of American presidents, they never thought that. Now, Van Jones, the communist revolutionary and founding member of Storm, and our green job czar, he thought that was deeply patriotic.
This is the deepest form of patriotism. Here you have the President of the United States saying something that is absolutely obvious to the whole world and everybody in this country. America's government has been a partner to America's business community. That is a part of the beauty of America. It is deep patriotism to point that out. It's a lot harder to make a lot of money in other countries. In our country, you got the roads, the bridges. We have the rule of law.
You've got to be kidding me. Let me tell you something. The BMW was invented and the Mercedes because of the Autobahn. I mean, what are you talking about? This is crazy. Anyone with half a brain knows better. The government doesn't share the credit for our success because they built the roadways with our tax money. It's ludicrous. And everybody, I don't know about the rest of the world, but the vast majority, I can walk up to pretty much anybody in Times Square or in the town square in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or in Dallas, Texas, and say, did Henry Ford invent the Model T? Was he the inventor of the Model T? Is he the guy who came up with the industrial production line? Is he the guy who did that? Or was that, or is Ford only there because of the roads and the subway system and the internet? There's not a soul. There's not a soul that would say, oh, yeah, no, it's the roads. And are our roads? I mean, it's amazing that the only reason why we can be the most successful country in the world is because we have such great infrastructure, and yet they need all these stimulus packages because our infrastructure sucks so much. Wait a minute. Are we India or are we the United States? How is India growing? Have you looked at their rivers or their sewage system? How are they growing? How are they growing? They can't answer that question. The freeways are crowded. The freeways are under construction. The freeways are loaded with potholes. It makes it harder to get where you need to be to succeed. I've never succeeded on the freeway. I've been frustrated on the freeway. The government is also responsible for stifling restrictions, regulations, interference, taxation that hampers our success. We all acknowledge that no man is an island. Those who believe that one man is an island, they fail. He's talking about collectivism in business as well as religion. And that, Mr. Blow, I mean, you're blowing chunks. I find it amazing that your name is Blow because it sounds like everything you're saying sounds like blah. You're vomiting out things that you have no clue about. He's talking about collectivism in business and religion. And Americans don't see that as otherness. They see that as Marxism. They see that as un-American. That doesn't come from our racism. It comes from the background of Marxism in this president. Back in a second.